Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Welcome to another Stellaris Console Edition video. It is the year 2216 and tensions are rising for the PlayStation Network. We ran into a fallen empire. They are not entirely hostile to us yet. They say they'll be cool with us as long as we stay out of their space. So I'm not really worried about them, but we also ran into the hierarchy of Bok, which is an empire that I created, and they always seem to be hostile. This system, the Porabim system, seems to be a good choke point against the Bok. It looks like no matter which way they approach, they will have to pass through Porabim to get into our space. Meanwhile, on Earth, we are clearing the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and we are going to get started on some alloy foundries because we need to be able to build ships fairly quickly, and we need alloys to do that. And then maybe we'll build a generator district later on. On Alpha Centauri Prime, we have basically a brand new colony still, so not very much population, but I'm going to go ahead and schedule a generator district there.
Construction complete.
Our outpost in Porabim has been upgraded, and now we're going to add a shipyard so we can have our fleet reinforced from this base. You can see there are several modules to choose from, but we're going to go with a shipyard for now. And we moved our fleet down here, so we are going to make Porabim Station the home base for this fleet. So now every time I tell them to return to base, they will come here to repair and all that.
System survey complete.
Our science ship has discovered deposits of rare crystals. These crystals have properties that make them extremely effective at focusing laser beams, and they are also a critical component in most advanced electronics. In addition, many cultures treasure them as decorations and adornments. We do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, but we should seriously consider establishing control over the system for future exploitation. I agree with that. Here is the planet with the rare crystals. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. But it is a frozen world, 0% habitability. So that's a bummer. We can't colonize this place. But if we take a look at the surrounding system, you will notice that there are a bunch of resources that we could eventually take advantage of, including an asteroid that has alloys. And like I said, we need alloys to build ships. So this would definitely be a system to take control over. But if we take a look at the larger map, you can see we're kind of spread out, and we need to fill in those gaps in our borders before other empires take some of our space. But I don't know if we should build an outpost just to take resources or if we should colonize another planet. I'll have to think about that. Meanwhile, back on Earth, our alloy foundries are being constructed, and I notice that our biotrophies, our humans, actually have some unemployment. So they do have jobs, apparently. If we take a look at our possible buildings, it looks like the organic sanctuary will generate biotrophy jobs and also housing. So I'm not sure what the biotrophies are doing that would be considered a job, but they do have some unemployment, so let's give them some jobs, I guess. The Bok have declared us rivals. It was only a matter of time before the Bok became belligerent. They say it is time we unplugged you, PlayStation Network. So we are going to return that favor and declare them rivals. That will give us some extra influence. It will also make them more hostile over time, I think. I'm pretty sure. On the bright side, if we take a look at our relative strengths compared to the Bok, they have equivalent economic power and technology, but their fleet power is inferior compared to ours. So bring it on, Bok. We can handle you, at least for the moment. So hurry up and bring it on while we can handle you, I guess. We're also still building our shipyard, which should help our defense.
System survey complete.
But never mind that for now. During its survey of the Tunari vortex, one of our science ships has discovered a previously unknown strategic resource dubbed dark matter. This exotic substance has many properties that seemingly defy several natural laws. It could potentially revolutionize the sciences. While we do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, we should seriously consider establishing control over the system. Yada, yada, yada. Yes, I agree. We do need to seriously consider establishing control over this system. And more on that in a little while. Our shipyard has been completed at Porobim Station, so now we can reinforce our fleet here. We have one more module we could build onto the station as an upgrade. But for now, let's go ahead and resume reinforcing our fleet. We have 15 of a possible 20 corvettes. Hitting reinforce all will attempt to fill up our fleet to maximum capacity, but we only have enough alloys to build 4 corvettes at the moment. But let's go ahead and get started on that.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
We found an easy anomaly, so helper bot Q7 can get going on that. Unfortunately, if you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner, we suddenly have a decently sized deficit in energy credits. So I thought maybe if I had my fleet return to the starbase, like docked there, that that would go away, but it didn't. But never mind that for now. A small short-range transmitter has been located on the surface of Sirius 5A. It appears to be an ancient survey marker, placed here eons ago to mark a large deposit of precious metals. The miners it was meant for evidently never arrived, as the deposit is still here. So that is fascinating and good news. But back to our energy credit deficit problem. My first reaction was probably the obvious one. I thought, well, I'll go ahead and build a generator district, and that will help us a little bit with our energy credits. And then I started thinking about how when fleets are docked with a station, that they're supposed to have less upkeep cost. So there must be some kind of an upgrade that I can build which will help with the energy credit deficit. A solar panel network would certainly help, but that has nothing to do with the ships being docked. The anchorage seems like it might be the one, but it doesn't look like it is if you look at the effects that it has over there on the right side. So I thought, all right, well, let's take a look at Earth, because I know when they're docked at Earth, they have lower upkeep. And look at this, down in the buildings section, the service umbilicals. Having service umbilicals lowers docked ship upkeep by 25%. So let's go over to Porobim And these are all the various buildings we could add to our station. And we probably will add a lot of these later on, since this is a critical defensive point against the Bok. But for now, let's go ahead and get started on the service umbilicals. We earned another tradition point. So let's take a look at our tradition trees. We are working on prosperity. We've got a couple of options here. Most of these, well, I guess all of these various categories basically help your economy in one way or another. But here I decided to go with efficiency algorithms because it boosts our monthly energy credits by 5%, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but you got to remember at this moment we are running a deficit, and also later on in the game 5% will be a decent amount of energy credits per month. So that's what I went with here. Back at Porabim Station, our service umbilicals have been completed, and you can see in the upper left hand corner we are no longer running a deficit in energy credits. We can build one more module on this station without upgrading again. And in the interest of defense, I went with missile battery. If I remember correctly, missiles have a longer range than the other weapons, and so hopefully, along with our fleet being stationed here, these Starbase upgrades will help us defend this system. Speaking of Starbase upgrades, if you look in the upper right hand corner, you'll see some text. Basically, in this update, the last big update for the game, it changed the upkeep cost for Starbases. So a basic outpost no longer has that cost. Only the upgraded Starbases have that, and only they count against your Starbase capacity, which is good. Meanwhile, back on Earth, I was thinking of building a bioreactor to generate more energy, but it requires a 22.5 monthly upkeep of food, and we are only generating 17 food per month. So instead of building something else, I decided to build an agriculture district. But then it wouldn't let me do that, and so I thought, well, maybe if I clear a blocker, we can build an agricultural district. And so now we are clearing an industrial wasteland. And hopefully once that's done, we can build an agriculture district, and once we have that, we can build a bioreactor.
Construction complete.
So now our construction ship is idle. They have built everything they can build within our space. So, like I was talking about earlier, I need to think about filling in the gaps. And so we have systems that have a lot of resources that we could grab. But then we also have some possible planets to colonize. I showed a few colonizable worlds. I don't know if that was the last video or the video before that, but here are a few more that we found. This one is a desert world. It's only 25% habitable for the humans, 100% habitable for the machines. Then up here we have an ocean world. It is 70% habitable for humans and 100% habitable for the machines. So I don't really know how that works. Like, can I colonize a tomb world, but then build the organic sanctuaries for the humans to live in? I really don't know. Here we have another planet. This one is a continental world, which is ideal for the humans. 90% habitable for the humans, 100% for the machines, of course. So, yeah, I kind of need to make up my mind about whether I want to grab some star systems that have a lot of resources, like the alloys and the rare crystals, or if I want to go ahead and colonize some more planets. But I need to think about that. And since I need to think about it, I'm going to end this video here. We're doing okay so far, I think. And we will see what happens to the PlayStation Network in the next video. But for now, thanks for watching.